and the Atlas Lions will be aiming to make it back-to-back wins over Scotland in what is just a second ever clash between the two teams, and they certainly enter this game as favourites. Well, let's talk you through the two lineup starters for Scotland. So we have Tierney, Patterson, Christie into the side in place of Hickey, Gannon, Doak and Shanklin. So lineup in full for the Tartan Army is as follows: Angus Gunn in goal, back three of Grant Hanley, Jack Kendry and Kieran Tierney, Nathan Patterson, Andy Robertson, the wing backs for Scott McTominay, Lewis Ferguson, the central midfield pairing, and helping out Che Adams up front is John McGinn and Ryan Christie. As Morocco, they're unchanged from the Brazil match. It's Bono in goal, backline of Achraf Hakimi, Issa Diop, Chadi Riyad and Noussair Mazraoui. In midfield, it's the very, very impressive young man, 18 years old, Ayub Bouadi, and partnering him in midfield is Neil El Ayanawi. Into the attack, it's Bilal El Kanous on the left, Brahim Diaz on the right, Azzedine Unai in between them with Ismail Sabari leading line, looking to add to his tally this tournament. Obviously building on from that Brazil game where he netted. Scotland's bench is as follows: Aaron Hickey, Tyler Fletcher, Lyndon Dykes, Liam Kelly, Ross Stewart, John Suter, Dominic Hyam, Ben Gannon Doak, George Hurst, Lawrence Shanklin, Craig Gordon, Kenny McLean, Tony Ralston, Finley Curtis and Scott McKenna. As for Morocco, it's Sofian Amrabat, Mwane Sadan, Chemzine Talbi, Sufyan Orami, Manir El Kajoui, Zakaria El Ouadi, Samir El Morabet, Gessim Yassin, Amin Sabai, Youssef Bellamari, Ayub El Kabi, Ayub Amamoui, and completing the bench is Ahmed Tegnatui, Redouane Halal and Anas Salah Adine. So this promises to be a cracking match between Scotland and Morocco. Again, Scotland, although it wasn't the best performance against Haiti, Steve Clark side have shown in the past on the Steve Clark they can rise to the occasion against the bigger name teams, and Morocco are really making a name themselves. Of course, made the semi-finals last time out. Could they go one better this time and maybe make it to the big global showpiece occasion? So ready to get underway here in Boston between Scotland and Morocco, and it will be the Moroccans kicking us off, shooting from right to left. So they can look to assert themselves on this game very, very quickly. So it will be Ismail Sabari gets underway. Well, he just hesitates and then just lays it back now to Unai. Unai drills it towards left-hand side. That's controlled and played back to Gunn from Patterson. Gunn whips it towards the right-hand side. Bit too heavy in the end for John McGinn. So Mazraoui's throw goes into the feet of Chadi Riyad. Here's Issa Diop. And square to Riyad. Lovely sunny day here in Boston. El Arnaoui back into the feet of Riyad. Riyad, a couple of touches with his left foot, square across the defensive line to Diop. Here's Hakimi. Well, not a light pass back to Diop. Diop wasn't the greatest contacts there from Hakimi, but Diop and Hakimi combine again inside to El Aynaoui. And now Bouadi. And what a future has ahead of him, squares it to Mazraoui. Mazraoui receives it back off Unai. Morocco just comfortably in possession it. Now Mazraoui shifts it to his left-hand side to El Kanous. El Kanous leveled the centre circle, now plays it inside it to Bouadi. Here is Hakimi on the ball, about 7 yards in the Scotland half. Now listen forwards, Achraf Hakimi is Sabari, right side of the box, Sabari shot into the back of the net. What a start for Morocco. That is a brilliant strike for Sabari, and I said before kick-off, he'll be looking to add to his tally in this year's competition. And it's only taken him a minute to build on that Brazil goal. Take a bow, Ismail Sabari. That is a terrific finish for a tight angle. A nightmare start for the Scots. It was a lovely ball over the top on the right side. Sabari looked to be on, controlled it right-footed, and then with that right foot, when it was bouncing just lashed it with the laces into Angus Gunn's top right-hand corner. Not a prayer for the Scotland goalkeeper in the Boston sunshine. It's Scotland 0, Morocco 1, and the second round of Group C games are off to a flyer. As Scotland barely touched the ball so far. Granted, it's only 2.5 minutes in. Already goal down. Robertson goes long. Clear away from Hakimi. Now nodded forwards from Unai. Here's Brahim Diaz. Diaz been sandwiched in between two players. Now Diaz, was he nudged there from Tierney? He was indeed. Scotland had got to keep their heads. They would have wanted to be tight, compact at the start and then grow themselves into the game. They've got to go for it a lot more early than maybe they anticipated, Scotland. So a short free kick from the Scots, and here's El Ainaoui. Hakimi just taps it back now for Issa Diop. It was Brahim Diaz by the way, with that lovely ball over the top to Saibari. And now it's direct from Diop, down the far side, chested, out of play in the end from Hendry. So throw from Morocco. About 26, 27 yards away from goal on the right-hand side. Hakimi to Diaz. Laid back to Hakimi. That's on the halfway line here with Diop. Diop and Riyad combine. Masraoui just forming a back three temporarily. So Riyad who squares it to his right to Diop. And now Brahim Diaz. Diaz about 3 yards behind halfway. Morocco now so comfortable. El Ainaoui. It's the feet of Hakimi. Back now for Diaz, being pressed from McTominay. Diaz so composed on the ball. Just now lays it off. It's the feet of Riyad. Chadi Riyad, wrong foot Adams. Now brings Unai into play. Unai being pressed by Christie, but Morocco just comfortably preserving the ball. Wadi to Diop. So 4 minutes gone in Boston. Scotland 0, Morocco 1. Another goalless competition for Ismail Saibari. Tying the ball for Chadi Riyad. Square left-footed pass into the feet of Masraoui. Moussa Masraoui goes on his outside to Unai. Returns it back to Masraoui. Midway inside his half. Again Unai. And now Masraoui, they're having their own little game at the moment. Masraoui to Chadi Riyad. Across to Diop. Hakimi asking for it. Diop moving towards halfway. It's now tapped to Brahim Diaz. Diaz actually the deepest of him and Hakimi. Right-sided combination. That's Riyad to El Ainaoui. Diop, short right-footed pass, controlling halfway from Diaz. Diaz dispossessed, and now Scotland can try and charge forwards. Adams flicks it behind him to Christie. Now McGinn edge of the box. It's past his block from Masraoui, and it breaks kindly in the middle of the Morocco half in the end to El Khanous. And now Morocco. They move over halfway. Unai on the left-hand side, at 10 yards in the Scotland half. Back in field. And now Morocco is calm on the ball here. On the right-hand side, just ahead of halfway with Diaz. Now it's left for El Khanous. It's tapped it to Hakimi. El Khanous has it back. Shifts it now to Boadi. El Khanous in the centre circle here with El Ainaoui. It's back in the centre circle again as El Khanous gives it to Riyad. Here is Masraoui. And Morocco just dictating possession here. Their 1 goal advantage approaching the 6th minute. Diop rolls it over halfway to Diaz. Then Boadi's making movement down that side. Goes backwards. Hakimi strokes it now. It's a lovely diagonal from El Ainaoui toward the chest of El Khanous. El Khanous trying to get around his man. Good tackle there from John McGinn. And now McGinn, left-footed. McGinn rolled it forwards. Now can Scotland form an attack. Bono slices it away. Hanley heads forwards. Headed backwards from Scotland from Christie. Goes out of touch. Morocco throw a bit better there from Scotland. Trying to cause some issues, but Morocco fully worthy there. 1 goal advantage, just approaching the 7th minute. Goal was scored in the opening couple of minutes from the prolific Ismail Saibari. Morocco in midfield at the moment with El Ainaoui rolls it over halfway to El Khanous. Now to Neil El Ainaoui. El Ainaoui plays it through the centre circle. And now Morocco in possession here with Diaz. First time here from Bouhaddi. And now Diaz again. Hakimi shifts it inside to Diaz. Now just play back into Morocco after Diop. Diop into the feet of Bouhaddi. And now Diaz turns inside right. Diaz by the centre circle. Diaz clipped over the top, looking for Saibari, headed away by Hendry, and on the bounce it's hit towards the centre circle from Robertson. Adams takes a touch, then dispossession. El Ainaoui now, Mazraoui through the middle. Morocco into the attacking third. And now El Khanous down the right-hand side and almost kept in play. In the end, just couldn't quite get to it. It was El Ainaoui advancing from midfield into the attacking third. And a good idea from El Khanous playing that sort of reverse pass into the run of El Ainaoui. 8 minutes played in Boston. Scotland 0, Morocco 1. So Scotland start the goal kick off through Hendry. It's long from Gunn. McGinn holds it up against Mazraoui. Now McGinn forwards towards Adams. Too much on that direct ball from McGinn. It's just over halfway, and it's company back with Bono in his green kit. Rolls it to Issa Diop. Diop now towards the D, where Riyad is in possession of the ball. In square to Diop. Now Diop looking for options on the right-hand side. Does have Unai peel out to that side, but instead goes back in the D to Riyad again across to Diop. Diop first time, and now Azzedine Unai inside to Bouhaddi. Diop, Scotland trying to press, Morocco just playing around them at the moment. Now Bouhaddi turns into trouble on Scotland's left with McTominay. Has the strength to hold up Bouhaddi, needs help McTominay. Plays it back now on that side to Robertson. Now here is Scotland in possession with Hendry. Across the back line to Hanley. Patterson wants it. And he goes to Hendry. Hanley again. Two centre-backs are not going to stop combining, because now it's Hendry, a later centre-back, to take control of the ball. And now is Scotland with Andy Robertson. Now it's square across the back from Ferguson to Hanley. And now Scotland being pressed here. And it's well won back from El Khanous. Saibari rolled it to Unai, left side of the box. Unai's low ball in towards the back post, but it's in behind his attacking teammates. Great chance for Morocco to double their advantage in the opening 10. So it was Christie who went down. There was enough, in my opinion, to give a free kick when it was El Ainaoui who pressed him. And then Morocco came away with it. It was threaded to Unai, left side of the penalty area. But his cross was in behind of Saibari and Diaz. Goal kick from Gon, Scotland mightily relieved. Goes towards Adams, bounce over Adams. McGinn now flicks towards the box. It's gone for the back of the head of Christie. It's been cleared away from Morocco. Now McGinn edge of the box, flicks it to Christie. Bouhaddi with a challenge. El Ainaoui struggling on the ball there. He's dispossessed. Azzedine now wins it back. El Ainaoui. And now Morocco play over halfway to left-hand side. Saibari. El Khanous making a run through the middle. El Khanous edge of the box. El Khanous goes to pass in the area. Intercepted. And Scotland struggling to clear. They managed to do that in the end through Adams. On his far Saibari. Pass in the box. Unai tight angle. Tackled. And it'll be a corner kick to Morocco on the left-hand side. But Scotland all over the place at times in this open 11 minutes. Got to try and get a grip of this. Otherwise, this contest will certainly get away from them. So corner for Morocco on the left-hand side. Azzedine Unai to take. Unai takes it short to Diaz. Diaz now back on that left-hand side. Now Unai again links up with Hakimi. Hakimi on the overlap. Hakimi now into the box. Hakimi low ball comes in, cleared away from Ferguson. And it will be a Morocco throw. So now look to pin Scotland back, looking for that second goal. So Nai leads the throw on, surprisingly, for Masraoui. Throws it backwards to Riyad. It's about 3 yards ahead of the halfway line. 12 minutes on the clock here in Boston. Scotland 0, Morocco 1. Sabari's second minute half volley has the Moroccans ahead. Diop. Now Hakimi. Square for Diaz. Back to Hakimi. It's just inside the Scotland half. Hakimi plays it behind him for El Ainaoui. Shadi Riyad. Square to Masraoui. Masraoui onto his right foot. Then picks out El Ainaoui in the centre circle. El Ainaoui again on the ball. Now first time for Diop. Tries to thread it down the right hand side. Sabari's on the run. Couldn't quite get to it. Angus Gunn claimed that. Good idea though. Just to play that down that right hand side quickly. Let's roll to Lewis Ferguson. Half turn from Scott McTominay in room. Pretty deep inside zone off McTominay. Ferguson taps it back to Hendry. Now just plays it across lightly to Hanley. Back in the Scotland area to Gunn. Hanley again. Hanley now goes direct, right-footed, looking for the run of Che Adams. Adams is going to be beaten to it from Shadi Riyad. Great strength from Riyad. Oh, Adams keeps it alive. But then Masraoui gets onto the ball in the box. And now time for Bono in possession. The Moroccan goalkeeper has his left foot on top of the ball. Strokes it to Boadi. Again, space. It's time on the ball in the Moroccan area for Riyad. Plays off to Boadi. Now Boadi looking for a pass to advance Morocco further upfield. Has to go square to his left to Masraoui. El Khanous being pressed here from Patterson. It's bounced out of play. Did that come off Patterson or El Khanous? It did come off the Scotland right back. Throw from Morocco taken from Masraoui. Now is Shadi Riyad. Shadi Riyad having a few touches on his left and right foot. And lays off to El Ainaoui. Here's Issa Diop. In a sharp turn. Sabari dropping deep. And now here's Morocco in the centre circle with Boadi. El Ainaoui. Brahim Diaz about 3 yards behind halfway. Boadi. Square to Hakimi, who's down on the halfway line now, back into the path of Diop. Square to Shadi Riyad. Shadi Riyad bringing it towards halfway. Right footed and square to Masraoui. Masraoui doesn't have a full pass on, has to go for Boadi. Morocco just behind the centre circle there with Azzedine Unai. Again, just rolls it to Diop. Diop over halfway. Unai, first time. And now Diaz has to play it back. And now Diop's forward pass deflects and Robertson controls. Now it's back with Gunn. Being chased down from Sabari. Scotland play through it pretty easily. McTominay. McTominay now almost gave it away, but control from Ferguson. Caught from behind. The referee waves play on. First time pass and Patterson. McGinn just ahead of the centre circle to McTominay on the left. Now McTominay to Kieran Tierney, and Scotland just slow themselves down. Robertson on the halfway line. Robertson. And goes to the switch of play. Lovely ball from Robertson to find Patterson. Inside here where Patterson combining with Christie. It breaks down though. And now El Khanous has it. El Khanous caught in the centre circle in the Morocco half by Lewis Ferguson. So just over quarter now gone in Boston. Scotland 0, Morocco 1. Scotland looking for their second win over Scotland in this competition, as they did in 1998. So Morocco take the short free kick. Here's El Ainaoui. On halfway is Brahim Diaz. Diaz just tapped it to Hakimi. In terms of control possession, 65% in the favour of Morocco at the moment. In the centre circle in their half with Riyad. Short for Diop. A light touch to El Ainaoui. Surges for Sabari, intercepted though from Tierney. And now Scotland in the centre circle. Christie to McGinn. Red from Masraoui. Now McGinn gets it back. McGinn to his right to Patterson. Trying to steam down that side. Well-timed challenge for El Khanous. It comes off Patterson last, and El Khanous just does a fist bump to his adoring Moroccan supporters. That's great work there from El Khanous then. Morocco take the throw. Volley falls from Riyad. Bounced over the head of Sabari. It's in the Send circle in the Scotland half with Hendry. Ferguson goes short midfield to McTominay. McTominay's pass read from Boadi. Rolls into Patton. Patton lose out in the 50-50 against Al Khanous, who goes backwards towards the send circle. And now it's an easy turn for El Ainaoui. Hakimi. Brahim Diaz has Unai in support down that flank. Diaz midway in the Scotland half. Scoots it forwards now for the run of Hakimi in the box. Hakimi gets a toe into it, but it's blocked from Angus Gunn. And a square pass out the area from Ferguson to Robertson. Back now to Ferguson. Dangerous run there. Macrath Hakimi just a few seconds ago. McTominay. Scotland being pressed back here, but they play through the press now on the left-hand side. Robertson looking for Christie. Does get a layoff to Adams, who's midway inside his own half. Adams, and I'm sure Steve Clark will want Adams pushed way further forward. Now it's back to Gunn. Gunn goes long. Too high for McGinn, headed away from Aswari. Now McGinn dispossesses Boadi, but the flag has gone up against Scotland for an offside. It's John McGinn, but Hakimi, great athleticism. Hanley was trying to just leave it for Gunn. Hakimi got his toe end onto it, and Gunn just managed to stop it going past him with his right boot. So Morocco take the short free kick. Diaz, that's great pressing on the far side by Christie. Forcing Diaz to play possession backwards to Diop. Gadi Riyad. Just a reminder, if you are watching as well as listening to us, make sure you are watching through your local broadcaster. Achraf Hakimi again plays infield to El Ainaoui. Now Gadi Riyad. Square across the back to Diop. It is Unai. Hakimi wants it. This goes a lot more shorter to El Ainaoui. Unai again halfway. Scoops it forwards. The run of Hakimi on the right hand side has to be quickly cleared there by Kieran Tierney. It's a really good foot race between Hakimi and Tierney. Tierney just got to it. Yeah, Moroccan fans are in great voice at the moment. They would be very pleased with what they've seen so far, looking to record their first win of the tournament. That was still a really good point for the Moroccans against Brazil. In fact, actually, I beg your pardon, it's not a throw-in, it's a corner kick to Morocco on the far side for the skipper to take. Achraf Hakimi, can Morocco double their advantage? Hakimi outswinging for the right-hand side, headed away there by Hanley, unsurprisingly. And that's food and drink for Grant Hanley, just heading balls out the box. That's what he does. So corner number 2. Got Achraf Hakimi to take. And raises his right arm. Hakimi. Corner towards near post, headed away from McTominay. And that's Boadi with a shot, hits the backside of Christie. Rolls out to Hakimi, who is onside. Hakimi puts the ball in court. At his near post by Angus Gunn. Now can Scotland quickly get themselves up the field? Actually, Gunn takes his time. So rolls it into defence midfield to Ferguson. Ferguson now looking for a full pass, has a short one to Christie. Christie back to McTominay. It is Andy Robertson. And moves it along the middle of the Scotland half to Ferguson. So we are just over 20 minutes gone here in Boston. Scotland 0. Morocco 1 second minute half volley. And Ismail Saibari 2 from 2. The Moroccan striker. This competition so far. It has been a great competition so far. And the main host, United States, and a brilliant win against Australia earlier on. It's in the centre circle with Christie. McTominay tapped on halfway for Christie. A bit better with Scotland now in possession. And it's Tierney to Ferguson. In the centre circle there with Hendry. And short now to Ferguson to his left. And halfway Robertson. Now Tierney in possession. Tierney about 8-9 yards over halfway. Goes backwards to his left-sided defensive partner Robertson. Across the back line from Hendry to Hanley. Bit of possession over Scotland. They're not really advancing with it. Ferguson's Hanley, but it's just what they need to calm them down though. Hendry can tap to Robertson. And goes short here for Christie. Back to Robertson. Scotland midway inside their half. On the ball with Hendry. Hendry now dragging it onto his right foot. Hendry then goes square to Robertson. Can Scotland get themselves out of the back line? They go further back. Robertson to Hendry. Square to Hanley. Scotland midway inside the half with Patterson. Patterson now goes for direct route. Now was there a push in the middle on Shay Adams? The referee does point for free kick and looks to be yellow card given as well to Issa Diop. And Ilgiz Tantashev, the referee, certainly had no choice but to show yellow there. It was a blatant, he wasn't last man Diop, but it was a blatant push on Shay Adams. So they'll take him off for the team there, Issa Diop, because a massive gap for Scotland to run through the middle there. Well, certainly not pleased, the Moroccan manager Mohamed Ouabi. And he certainly has giant shoes to fill. Stepping in for Walid Regragui. We've got Morocco to the semi-finals. Last time out, one achievement that was. 23 minutes on the clock. Scotland 0, Morocco 1 in Boston. As Morocco look to go to the top of Group C. So free kick for Scotland. 35 yards and goal. Clip from Ferguson. And now lifted into the middle of the box there for Christie. Volleyed away from Masraoui. That's all the way back in the Scotland half with Lewis Ferguson. Further back to Gunn. Gunn about 10 yards ahead of his area. Gunn long towards the left. Looking for Tierney. It's a header backwards from Hakimi, but there was a two-handed push from Tierney into the back of Hakimi. And one of the big criticisms of Steve Clarke in major tournaments is that, again, he's just a bit too passive with his management. Again, in Europe's major international competition, and Steve Clarke did get a really good result against Gareth Southgate's England 5 years back, but it's probably the standout result for Steve Clarke at a major tournament. So now we are having the hydration break, but Morocco in control this one. Scotland haven't really laid a glove on the Moroccans. And it was a really good finish from Saibari. Has Morocco in front. Saibari was born in Barcelona and she struggled in his early years, taking his first steps until the age of 2 actually, owing to a congenital condition. So, to correct condition, he actually had to wear a special orthopedic device for more than a year to keep his feet straight and help him walk. So, really nice story. And now you look at Saibari today on the global stage, scoring, and I'd say it wasn't even about becoming football or anything like that. The machine helped him so much, was device that helps babies walk straight, and luckily for him it worked. So yeah, really nice story for Saibari. So him and his family must be very proud of him. But it's just so exciting as well for Morocco to have talents like 18-year-old Ayoub Wadi. He's one of the most sought-after talents in Ligue 1. Made his senior debut for Lille at age 16 years and 3 days. Make him the youngest player again in a European club competition. He doesn't only possess the composure beyond his years, but it's just a very astute student in the game, and he's so comfortable possession. Him and El Ainaoui, just so good in possession. Actually, El Ainaoui's son of a tennis legend as well. Would you believe it? So, Moroccan tennis legend Younes El Ainaoui, he had to make a choice. He's younger. Did Neil whether to start playing football or tennis, and he chose football, and here he is in the biggest competition in the sport of the lot, and bossing it in midfield along with Wadi. Migration break's now concluded, and Scotland try and get going. And Patterson and Robertson haven't really advanced forwards, and McTominay and Adams haven't combined. It just hasn't worked for Scotland so far. So can this hydration break do them some good. Try and get a little bit of momentum together to try and test Bono between the Moroccan sticks. So 27 minutes on the clock, ready to get back on the way. And speaking of Bono, walking towards the ball now. There's a free kick for Morocco. It's where it concluded before the hydration break. So now Bono can take the free kick, left-footed. Looking for Sabari, and a met from Ferguson. Now Bouhaddi nods it just ahead of him. Play away from Robertson, control from Eli now in the centre circle. Now Bouhaddi moves back in his own half. Short right footed pass to Hakimi. That's in central defence with Diop. Riyad. Once more Issa Diop. McTominay running towards him. Diop though picks out Hakimi. First time pass bobbled back to Diop. Chade Riyad. Plenty of time for Riyad in possession. Now Adams is engaging with him. Square to Mazraoui. It is Unai on the left hand side. Good pressing from Christie. So Morocco have to go backwards. Mazraoui to Chade Riyad. Riyad now across the back line. Easily controlled from Issa Diop. Brahim Diaz midway inside his half. Diaz just strokes it backwards to Diop. Here's Chade Riyad. El Ainaoui wants it in midfield, but Adams shutting down that space. So a simple ball across the back from Riyad to Diop. And now Sabari. Now Tierney wins it back on halfway against Hakimi. Tierney looks towards Adams, but that is well read there from Chade Riyad. And Bono from the 6-yard box. Squaring the area for Diop. Now Diop, is he going to go long? No, goes short to Hakimi instead. Diop level with the Moroccan penalty area. Diop to Bouhaddi. First time pass back for Bono. So Morocco just so at ease on the ball despite Scotland pressing in Morocco's own area. Riyad to Bono. Bono now goes to his right to Diop. Now Diop goes for the long ball, looking over the top, headed forwards from Hendry. Trapped on the chest here of El Khanoussa. Now Diaz down the right hand side. Great run for Brahim Diaz. Bursting towards the box. Diaz, great low centre of gravity. Diaz plays a 1-2. Sabari in the box. Now Diaz a bit wider than he initially wanted. Diaz cuts it back. Shot over the bar. Great chance for Morocco to go 2-0 up. It was El Ainaoui who let fly inside the box, but couldn't keep it down. Great run from Diaz, combined with Sabari. As I said, Diaz a little bit too wide. Probably wanted. Cut it back for El Ainaoui, and he couldn't keep his right-footed shot down. Again, more warning signs of Scotland being opened up, and could easily fall further behind in this contest. Half hour played in Boston. Scotland 0, Morocco 1. Hendry. To his left of Robertson. Hendry on the ball again. Goes to his central offensive partner, Grant Hanley. And Jack Hendry. Short right-footed pass to Andy Robertson. Robertson whips it down the far side. Was a faint flick off of Christie. It just goes back to Bono. Again, Scotland, they're going for the long balls, but just aren't working. Bono rolls it now to El Ainaoui. Chade Riyad. El Ainaoui wants it back. So it goes to Mazraoui. Now El Ainaoui. El Ainaoui links up with Riyad. Bouhaddi. Midway inside his half. Diop against Scotland, just so passive here. A bit too comfortable in their shape, especially a side who's 1-0 down. Morocco now with Diaz, tackled on the halfway line, rolls loose. Bouhaddi gets his toe into it, but now McGinn turns in the centre circle. He's knocked off the ball from El Ainaoui, striding forwards down the inside left. El Ainaoui gets his touch wrong, then brings down Ferguson inside the Scotland penalty area. And it'll be a free kick to the Scots, but again, the run from El Ainaoui was very good. Just got his touch wrong as he was heading towards the box and brought down Ferguson. Speaking of Ferguson, now on the ball, receives the free kick short from Robertson. Is Grant Hanley. Now plays it back in the Scotland box to Hendry. Robertson. And Morocco pushing high. Scotland's in central defence. Played across the box and Hendry to Hanley. Now Hanley looks long, chested just behind halfway from McGinn to Christie. Ferguson, bit of time on the ball in defence midfield. And now Andy Robertson coming up towards halfway. Releases a 5-yard pass to Scott McTominay, who's been quiet so far. It's in the centre circle with Ferguson. To his right to Hanley, tapped over halfway to McGinn. Now McGinn playing it down the inside right, held up here, almost 40 yards in goal from Christie. Now Christie turns and is facing the Moroccan box. Patton inside to Christie. Christie easily dispossessed from El Ainaoui. Now Unahi goes over halfway to play it to Saibari. Saibari midway in the Scotland half, turns, has to play it back through legs of Patterson into the feet of El Khanous, plays it in between Christie and McGinn. And now is Mazraoui on the ball, square through the centre circle. Brahim Diaz looking for an outside run, has that with Boadi. Now Diaz on the edge of the penalty area. Does go on his outside to Boadi. It's behind him to Hakimi. Ayi Boadi again, once more behind him to Hakimi. And now Hakimi still on the ball. Boadi, Unai wants it, but Boadi goes to Hakimi. Now Unai on the ball, just under 40 yards from the target. Boadi, here's Unai. Now Unai on halfway, still playing a 1-2 with Hakimi. Now it's a tap from El Ainaoui to Unai. Here's Diaz trying to get the outside. McTominay blocks the ball with his left knee, but does concede a throw. 33 minutes played, Scotland 0, Morocco 1. Just a reminder, you are watching as well as listening to us. Make sure you're watching through your local broadcaster. And Diaz just moved a bit gingerly here after what was a clash of knees with Scott McTominay. McTominay came off a way less worse than Diaz. Diaz back on his feet now. Morocco do take the throw, and speaking of Diaz, combines with Shadi Riyad. Now here's Riyad midway inside Moroccan territory. Goes to Mazraoui. First time from Boadi, in between Christie and McGinn. Now Morocco down the left hand side. Saibari wants a bat scuff pass from El Khanous, block, but El Khanous gets another bite at the cherry. El Khanous passport from Hanley. El Khanous gets a third bite at the cherry. It's played to Mazraoui. Left side of box, cross comes in. Cleared away, left footed. Out for a throw from Tierney. Again, Morocco really well down left hand side. Just couldn't quite get that final ball right. Rotating from Morocco now. Boadi to Riyad. Here's Diop in the centre circle. Tapped over halfway. Morocco still in the centre circle with El Ainaoui. Now Unai. Saibari holds it up. Close to the centre circle now. Backwards from Boadi to Diop. Riyad. Left footed. Morocco virtually on halfway with El Ainaoui. Here's Brahim Diaz on the ball. El Ainaoui on halfway. Diaz back to El Ainaoui again. Morocco just feels like a training session for them rather than possession. So here is sharp turn. Now played to Ayi Boadi. Out towards left hand side. Too much on it though for El Khanous. Will be a throw for Scotland to take. Thrown backwards now from Patterson to Hanley. Hendry looking to bring it out the back. Can he go in midfield? He goes to his left hand side where Robertson goes inside to midfield to Ferguson. Slip there from El Ainaoui gets McTominay now. El Ainaoui wins the tackle. Morocco's trying it forward. Saibari. El Khanous lifts it over. Golden opportunity for Morocco to go 2-0 in front. Steve Clark saying to the officials it was a definite foul. McTominay, as El Ainaoui just got his body. El Ainaoui lost his balance, then just got his body across McTominay. The referee disagreed. He thought it wasn't a foul for El Ainaoui. And then Morocco surged forward through the middle. Saibari squared it to the left side of the box. Well, Khanous couldn't keep his lifted effort down with his right foot. Should have done better there, El Khanous. El Ainaoui, did he just take a whack from McTominay as well? Because he just lost his balance, El Ainaoui. Sort of dived across Scott McTominay. And El Ainaoui does have a tissue over his mouth. So I think there was a connection then from McTominay on the Moroccan midfielder. Stephen Naismith, Scotland's assistant coach. Just getting some instructions. So El Ainaoui just biting on the tissue at the moment. So yeah, definitely a fair bit of blood there actually. McTominay's boots certainly made a connection with his mouth. So Hendry now takes the goal kick short. is Scotland on the ball with Ferguson. Scotland, by the way, yet to register a single shot in this first half. Played 37 minutes here in Boston. Scotland 0, Morocco 1. Passing just over halfway inside to Christie. Backwards to Patterson. Hanley now. It's on square to Hendry. Under pressure from Unai. Now it's on halfway. Tierney's pass fizzed and given away. Now a lovely back heel into the feet of Hakimi from Diaz. Hakimi in the attacking third. Hakimi cuts in the box. Laid off to Diaz. Diaz tackle from Hendry, but Diaz still has it. Diaz trying to twist and turn away from Hendry. Diaz, still Diaz twisting, turning. Diaz going to get a square pass off, goes behind him to El Ainaoui. And now is Diaz. Diaz drills it in, it just bounced off Saibari. Falls here for Robertson, who plays it short to McTominay. Now on the stretch, feeds it to Tierney. Kieran Tierney over halfway. Tierney shoved in the back, and the referee does point to his right for free kick to Scotland. It did look a clear shove on Kieran Tierney. Still quite a bit of blood on El Ainaoui's tissue. Actually made the foul on Kieran Tierney. Yeah, just a nudge into the back of the Scotland left back. The back heel just a moment ago from Brahim Diaz to Achraf Hakimi was exquisite. And Morocco in third control this one. Love it. 2-goal lead though going into the break. And can Scotland try and get their first shot in this match? Again, Andy Robertson take the free kick, and Brahim Diaz just picks up the ball and puts the ball in the magic spray. I thought Andy Robertson just trying to cheekily gain a few yards. Free kick for Robertson then. Just over 40 yards from goal. She's level with the centre circle this. To the left at Robertson. Whips in with his left foot to Ive Hanley, but it's going to be kept in play for Hendry. On the byline, on the right. Hendry tackle from Masraoui. Trickles out of play. And it's gone in the favour of Masraoui, I think. Yep, it has gone in the favour of the Moroccan. Again, Scotland needs to try and do more from these set-piece situations. Well, actually, say not bad delivery, probably not the greatest though. Bit too heavy for Hanley. In the end, for that delivery from Andy Robertson. So Bono to drill this forward for Morocco. Bono, left-footed, towards left-hand side, too high in the end for Saibari. Here's Patterson to take a throw midway inside the Scotland half. Throw taken, headed from Masraoui. Backwards now to Masraoui from El Khanous. Now here's Unai, just over 35 yards from goal, right in the middle. Square to Hakimi. Hakimi just flicks in front into Unai. Back to Hakimi. Unai again have their own little game at the moment on the right hand side. Hakimi and Unai. Hakimi's the latest of the parents had the ball. El Ainaoui, Hakimi now in the attacking third on the inside right for Brahim Diaz. Now moves dead central. Turns away from two players then. Tierney makes the tackle, McTominay holding it up. And now Christie can come away with it. Christie needs support. Christie now looks to play it backwards. It's blocked there from Hakimi. Now Hakimi into the feet with Unai. Morocco just inside their own half, just slowing it down. We have just under 5 minutes left at the first half. Just a reminder, if you are watching the game as well as listening to us, make sure you are watching it through your local broadcaster. It's Scotland 0, Morocco 1. Just approaching the 41st minute. Here's Diop. Short to Unai. There's that free roll in this Morocco team. Unai in halfway. Nice sharp turn from Bouhaddi. Aïe Bouhaddi. Back in the centre circle to El Ainaoui. Square to Masraoui. Out here to El Khanous. Back to Masraoui. And Scotland just seems so concerned to stay in their shape. They need to try and be a bit more proactive here. Forwards from Morocco down the left now. Saibari peels up wide as pass inside, cut out from Christie. McGinn trying to turn it. Tackle from Saibari now. Holding up the ball is Bouhaddi. He goes down. Actually, Bouhaddi handled the ball and the referee didn't think it was a foul. So it's a free kick in the favour of John McGinn. Actually, Ryan Christie is the one. Bouhaddi said he made Christie made a nudge in him, but the referee disagreed. It is Scotland on the ball now, just behind halfway on the left. With Tierney back to Robertson. Hanley. Now square for Hendry. 3 minutes left in normal time in this first half in Boston. Scotland 0, Morocco 1. Robertson goes long. That's way too high for Tierney. He was on the edge of the box, inside left channel. It's back here with Bono. Bono, is he going to roll it or just go long? He's going to go long, left-footed from the D. And now flicked on from El Khanous. A bit too much on that flick in the end. Or Sabari. Now his gun on the ball, sees it from Hanley. In the Scotland penalty area now in the D with Hendry. Hendry takes it about 4 or 5 yards further forwards. Hendry just taps it to his right to Hanley. Hanley now looking for a line-breaking pass. Does find McGinn by the centre circle. McGinn turns. He's inside right. 30 yards and goal. McGinn moves out wide. Good tackle there from Maswari. Well, I thought it was a good tackle. Maswari's furious. He felt he won the ball, but the referee has awarded a free kick in Scotland's favour. I have to say, I thought, and looking back at it, Maswari definitely won the ball, but the referee disagreed. 2 minutes of normal time left this first half. Can Scotland try and at least get their first attempt of this match? So free kick wide left, about 24-25 yards away from goal. For Lewis Ferguson to deliver for the Scots. Looks like he's going to put outswearing Ferguson. Ferguson ball in, it's flicked away. And Morocco keeper in play with Hakimi on the right hand side. Hakimi down the line, but no runner close enough to get to it. Scotland have it back in their half with Christie, Patterson. And now here's Ferguson and centre circle. Worked forwards on the right hand side to McGinn. McGinn turns, trying to get away from Maswari. Maswari gets his body in between McGinn and the ball. There was a shove there from McGinn. There's a free kick from Morocco. McGinn not best pleased the officials. Well, I have to say, the shove wasn't too much from McGinn, so I can understand his frustration. It was a vital header from Sabari from the free kick Scotland had a moment ago. So free kick here for Morocco, 30 seconds of normal time left this first half. Bono in his very jazzy lime green kit. Left-footed down the near side. Swerves over the top of Sabari though. Throw for Scotland. Patterson to take it. Nathan Patterson searching for options. Goes and Phil to Christie. Touch it back to Hanley. Now first time from Gunn to Hendry. Here's Gunn again, he's in the 6-yard box. Gunn to Ferguson. First time square pass to Hendry. Now McTominay has it. Deep line midfield position. And goes back to his goalkeeper. 5 minutes of first half stoppage time in Boston. Can Scotland level up? Going into the break. Haven't even registered an attempt yet. Hendry coming towards the halfway line. Hendry now. Right footed pass. Adams who's dropping deep. Back to McTominay on the halfway line. McTominay now. That's a really nice pass. Swept out to the left hand side. Scotland in the attacking third. Goes in Phil from Robertson to McTominay. McTominay holds off Guadi. Has no full pass on. Has to go backwards to Hendry. Scotland by the centre circle with Ferguson. Played across midfield to Christie. Now Christie to Patterson. Level with the penalty area. Patterson puts a cross in. Adams completely misses the ball. Scotland have edge of the box. Robertson whips in. And McGinn volleys wide. He made a mess of that, John McGinn, at the back post. The width from Robertson was perfect. Yes, it was a tie angle from McGinn. And again, he didn't make the connection he wanted. It started off with a cross from Patterson. Adams, it was an air shot from him. Then Robertson ran onto it, whipped into McGinn. And McGinn just volleyed it into the sky at the back post. Could have easily volleyed that at least on target. Yes, the angles are slightly tight, but McGinn so disappointed with himself. Scotland get themselves a throw in their half. Patterson to take minute and a half of first half stoppage time gone. Now Patterson lifts it forwards of halfway. He felt he's fouled. The referee waves play on. McGinn through the centre. Guadi chased him down. Now it's McGinn. into the feet of Tierney. Tierney puts a delivery in, headed away from Diop. Control for Ferguson, the D. Ferguson tackled. Edge of the box with Tierney. Now Adams left side the area. Adams cuts it back for Tierney. Tierney's shot blocked with the right knee of Azzedine Unai. Now Scotland finally starting to step it up. Took to stoppage time to do that in this first half. And Ferguson looks to be caught actually from El-Ainaoui inside the D. No free kick was awarded. Throw for Scotland on the left-hand side. Well, yellow, is that yellow card shown or a warning from the referee? And Robertson unhappy about something. I think it was just a warning. So it is a throw for Scotland State from the left-hand side. Tierney with the long one. It's flicked off of Hendry, controlled though from Mazraoui, and then pelted away back into the Scotland half over midway. It's the 5 minutes of first half stoppage time. Scotland 0, Morocco 1 in sunny Boston. Gunn. He goes short here to Ferguson. Ferguson now. Tap to Andy Robson. 5-yard pass over halfway to Tierney. Back to Robertson. Scotland level with the centre circle with Hendry. Hendry looks for the crossfield pass to McGinn on the inside right. Just bounced away from Mazraoui, who was there, pushed there from McGinn. Well, actually, neither McGinn or Mazraoui got a touch. So that results in a Morocco throw. Morocco almost there. In terms of being in front at half-time. Mazraoui's throw volley force from El-Ainaoui. And he's fast to Chester Ferguson. Lifts it towards the box. Bouncing now. Diop heads away. McTominay heads in the air. He's saying he's fouled. Nothing given. Diop heads away for Morocco. Almost got Unai's way. Scotland in the centre circle with Hendry. Back to Hanley. And now here's Ferguson, the halfway line. Robertson. Looks like he has to go backwards here, Andy Robertson. It's the feet of Ferguson. That's exactly what he does. Scotland on halfway, McTominay. Into the last minute now. The 5 of stoppage time. Hanley slips as he played that forwards. And his pass towards the attacking third went in behind of Che Adams. It's just roll back with ease for Bono. Bono now releases it with his left foot, looking for Saibari to pin Hanley back. Hanley heads away. Controlled it from Christie. Christie nudged the floor from Unai. No free kick given. Now Ferguson tackled it. Rolls loose on Morocco's left to El Khanous. Pros it to Saibari, who's facing away from goal. Now El-Ainaoui has it. Here's Mazraoui back in the Morocco half to Shadi Riyad in the centre circle. Just 20 seconds left of stoppage time. And Morocco just pass it with ease at the moment. You can see out there 1-goal advantage to the break. El-Ainaoui on halfway. Morocco still in the centre circle with Riyad. El-Ainaoui back to Riyad. And the 5 minutes are up here in Boston, the first half. And Morocco still continue the ball now. Definitely the half-time whistle has gone here in Boston, where Ismail Saibari is 2-2 for him this tournament. So the second minute, delicious ball from Brahim Diaz, and Saibari smashed it on the half volley right side the penalty area. Scotland woke up in first half stoppage time, but overall they were really poor that first half. It was such a simple half from Morocco. Again, had a few more opportunities of their own. El Khanous lifting one over the bar, but Scotland need to step it up second half here.